Hey there, class, just checking in here. I wanted to give you a little bit of an insight here on my project that I've been using to make my beekeeping videos. I've got a screen recording going at the same time, and I've got my project, which I'm going to go ahead and update and get uploaded here at this time. Just jumping on over here to my project. So this was the setup. I actually have a template all already set up that has everything all included on there. You can get this out of the way. I'm recording my Skype as well. So this is my intro, and I updated. I've actually got a couple different setups. I've got a couple different setups here with the lower thirds. So this one is my beekeeping one, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that the same. I actually have as well, I've got beekeeping, I've got stuff for crafting, other things that I wanted to do with this channel, weight loss, getting healthy and all that type of stuff. I do a lot of running. I'm running my 10K shirt right now. So I've got some pretty easy setups for new intros, which will kind of expedite your process and expedite your editing once you actually have it all set up. Just a basic intro and my MM150 intro, which is going to go on this video once I actually get it edited. Well, this one's going to be beekeeping, but the one that I'm recording right now, it'll go on there. So I've got that all set up. I've got a lower third all set up that I had built in After Effects, which you guys have seen, along with kind of my right third video as well, where it comes up with just a little bit more information. This is easily editable, where I just have the text already in there. I change the text however I want it to be suited and situated. The background is what's really the important information. So I can actually just go up and change this text. I don't remember what this video is about. So we'll just kind of keep it generic right there like that for right now. And I have a template all set up where basically once I have my videos all set, I can go ahead and just drag and drop stuff in there. So this was my first video recorded. I recorded it with my phone.
Some hives, getting in, seeing how things are going, and seeing if my ladies are in there working hard, and seeing if I can find the queens.
So this is my video. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little edit, and we'll kind of toss together. I'll speed this up and everything like that, and we'll go along in that process at this time. So I'll stop recording me, and I'll just start doing my work. All right, so I've kind of got together and got it all put together. For the most part, I used my basic template, which I have set up and I've been using for every single one of these. The nice thing about a vlog is that you don't have to necessarily reuse a bunch of the footage. Once you actually export, you should be good to go ahead and move forward. So I've got a basic template put together in Premiere, jumping over to Premiere right now, where I've got, like we said before, my intro and everything like that. So I've got my new footage dropped in here. The one obstacle that I have come across is when I've been shooting, I don't have this sequence set up exactly the same as far as the same size as I've got for my phone. So I do have to actually manipulate the size of the image when I drop it in here. It's about 45% in order to fit on the screen. Otherwise, you get a blown up version. So I've got all these clips dropped in here. Go ahead and adjust them down to 45% so that they actually fit on the screen. And I've edited it down as best I can, just to some of the highlights. This is actually my beekeeping video where I was out and about, just kind of checking the hives out and seeing how they're doing. New hives I want to check, every week, 5 days, 3 to 5 days or so, and just make sure that everything's good to go. I feed the new hives. I did get some video of feeding them as well, but it's not super interesting video, so I didn't actually include it in this one. But I did check so I have one hive that is survived from last year, and so I checked that hive out just to check. You'll see me reference supering the hive. That's basically putting a new box on top to be able to collect all the honey and everything like that. So my one hive that I want to continually talk about supering, that's what I'm talking about. My goal always whenever I get into a hive is to try to find the queen. If I can't find the queen, then I am looking in order to see that queen activity's been there. So when I talk about larvae and all that type of stuff, that shows me that the queen's been there within the last couple days because they've laid larvae to make new bees. So you can see here I've got my timeline all set up. It was a little bit longer. I had to adjust some things, had to adjust my music bed in the bottom. So generally what I'll do to keep things consistent is I can go ahead and just adjust the music and everything like that, and then I'll just bring a new keyframe in here and go ahead and fade it out just like I did right there. I'll play it
there, but the next couple days I'm going to go ahead and super that thing, get the thing all set up, and hopefully weather will be more conducive to getting us some honey. So I got them out.
So, and you've got my text and everything like that on screen, which is still consistent from the last video that I put together. I can just go ahead and go through and edit those. I'll just want to scroll through them and see how they're doing. My lower third telling everyone who I am, and I'm just checking my hives. So I may want to, in this instance, let's go ahead and jump back over here. I'm just going to change the information that I have on these. So that is not my overwintered hive. So if I double click on that text that I've already created, I can go ahead and say I believe that is my county Cary hive, and it is a new 2020 hive. So just to kind of identify things and keep everything consistent. So we'll update there, okay. Okay, so now we're going to go to my county Cork hive is my yellow hive. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just identify it, double click that, get the text. If I hit Apple A, it just goes ahead and selects all the text. County Cork hive. So what I call this one? I didn't call that County Cary hive. So I'll just probably keep the same setup. I don't really need my lower third in there. Sometimes if it's a long video, I'll go ahead and identify myself twice, which I did not need to do in this case. So in this part, I may want to go ahead and just duplicate that. One easy way to do that, to kind of duplicate my identifiers, Apple C, I went ahead and highlighted them, both of them. But this part is kind of a really consistent or a really important part because I actually find the queen. So what I did here is I locked my video layers if I'm copy and pasting, otherwise it'll go ahead and move things around, and I don't necessarily like how Premiere works in that setup. So if I do Apple C, I'm gonna copy it, and then Apple V, go ahead and paste it, a new one on there. So like I said, this is an important part. I want to identify that I found the queen. Just nice, easy way to set it up. And when I'm locked like this, I can't actually change any of that stuff, which is good. That's what I want. Just go ahead and turn the unlock off. You just go ahead and unlock them. this identifier there, and go ahead and change it. So when a hive survives a winter, in beekeeping terminology, it's called an overwintered hive. So overwintered County Galway hive 2019 swarm hive. So this was a hive that I collected, or that I actually captured. So it's a really cool hive and really important hive for me. So, and then I like to make sure that I save it quite often. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that everything's in good shape as far as so I may want some identifiers here at the end. I think it's always important to thank everyone for watching. Can't type. I'm just gonna have it kind of fade to black. So I've got my ins and outs set, so now I can go ahead and export. So for exporting, I don't know if I've gone over this in a video before, export media. I set mine up, I've got a nice go-to setup for YouTube, H.264, and then and it doesn't have to be a super high quality because it's just going to YouTube. So this is the drop down. You can do higher quality on YouTube if you want. It'll take a little bit longer to export, a little bit longer to upload. But I think a 480p SD wide is sufficient for this. In this instance, I go ahead and change the name here. And I've got a whole setup of exported videos. A lot of times I just like to identify it with date. So 05/12, and then I go ahead and save it. So I will jump in here in a second and go ahead and do the uploading once I actually get to that point. So see ya.